Rachel Maddow's head explodes after the Supreme Court says that they will hear Trump's immunity claims. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Unwoke Thoughts. Today we are talking about the mainstream media, and they are starting to see the writing on the wall when it comes to these cases against Trump. The Supreme Court has decided that they will hear Trump's immunity claims, which will inevitably postpone these lawsuits until after potentially he is elected president. And Rachel Maddow is very disturbed by this because this is what she says, guys. And I kid you not. They say that Republicans are the conspiracy theorists. But if you listen to Rachel Maddow here in this rabbit hole that she goes down, it's not the Republicans who are the conspiracy theorists. It is the Democrats. It is the liberals, the mainstream media. She says if he is voted out in 2028, he cannot leave office, and he is welcome to commit any crimes he wants as long as he is still president in order to ignore the result of that election and stay in power for, guess what? For life. She thinks that Donald Trump's plan is to stay in power for life because otherwise he's going to go to prison when he gets out. Guys, I will let you hear it for yourself. Here is Rachel Maddow going down this insane rabbit hole. Listen.
If you think about the court as the Supreme Court of the United States and a rational actor and a decent one, that was a reasonable supposition, and it just turns out they're not that. Incremental bit of progress here. The important question here is not whether the Supreme Court is going to decide that Donald Trump and all presidents are immune from prosecution for things crimes they committed while they were president. I mean, it would be fully insane for them to actually side with Trump here, right? The conclusion that we can arrive at now based on what they have done without having to wait for the ruling is that they are ensuring that Trump will not face trial. And when they inevitably rule that presidents aren't immune from prosecution after they leave office, what that will tell Donald Trump, if by then he is president, is that he can never leave the office of the presidency. Right. And if he is voted out in 2028, he cannot leave office, and he is willing to he is welcome to commit any crimes he wants to, as long as he is still president, in order to ignore the result of that election and stay in power for life, because otherwise he's going to go to prison when he gets out.
Yes, guys. So that is the only conclusion, apparently, that you can draw from this ruling that the Supreme Court is giving. This decision that they have made that they will hear Trump's immunity claims, but they don't ever get into the fact that Jack Smith is trying to expedite these lawsuits to a degree that is absolutely insane. When you have millions of documents to review, it would probably take some time to look at all these documents. So he's trying to expedite these lawsuits in a matter of a couple months. But Trump's team is saying, oh, no, listen, I think we need a little bit more time. And also, I think you need to hear out this presidential immunity claim because this is unprecedented, what is happening to President Donald Trump. But the mainstream media is in absolute full panic mode right now. It's not just Rachel Maddow freaking out about this. It's multiple outlets, multiple anchors, and they are coming up with the craziest conspiracy theories that you could even think of. They are literally losing it on live television. And this is what our news outlets have denigrated to, guys. Listen to Chris Hayes and his crazy take on this Supreme Court decision.
I want to be crystal clear here about the import and significance of today's news, because I think a lot of the reporting has missed this. What happened today? This one-page order looks anodyne, right? It is an unmistakable sign from the MAGA majority of the Trump-created court that they are with him, that they are going to use their power to make sure he does not face trial in an election year for attempting to end American democracy. Until today, it could have gone either way. It was genuinely unclear whether they were going to give him what he wanted, whether they were going to put their shoulder to the wheel on Donald Trump's behalf. Everyone has always understood the substance of his legal claim here is meritless. It lost to the district court level. It lost unanimously in the appellate court. 3 judges, one of whom is a Republican appointee. It is bad law under the Supreme Court's own precedent and jurisprudence. The point was never to win on the merits. The point was to make a time-consuming Hail Mary pass to attempt to escape accountability. Trump's bet was that the 6-3 MAGA majority he himself created on that court would bail him out. That they would rob the People's Department of Justice the opportunity to present all the evidence of his guilt. That the voters of this country, you and I, the hundreds of millions of us, might be robbed of the information we need to determine whether the man is guilty of the gravest crime any politician has been accused of since the Civil War. Today, the court signaled they are in cahoots, that the plot is on. It's a go. Yes, they will take up the case when they get to it. They have scheduled it 7 weeks.
So yes, it is the left now in the mainstream media who is coming up with conspiracy theories. I think we should start turning these things around on them. When they start going down these rabbit hole, coming up with these crazy theories, just kind of brush it off as a conspiracy theory. I think that's what we should start doing, because in this case, it is actually true. Rachel Maddow, Chris Hayes, they go down these deep rabbit holes and they accuse the Supreme Court of being MAGA controlled and all these other things when they are simply hearing an important case. Donald Trump is simply arguing, hey, listen, despite the fact that I think that this case is completely meritless, I believe that I have presidential immunity, and that is in the Constitution. And that is something that the Supreme Court deals with. So for them to take this case, which is completely unprecedented, what is happening to Donald Trump, is absolutely appropriate. But of course, mainstream media conspiracy theories would not be complete without hearing what CNN had to say. Listen.
Qualified, yes. But can you imagine?
Nobody in the history of the 235-year history of the United States of America, no president has ever been impeached and convicted. Mm-hmm. I know how tough it is because I was counsel in the first impeachment. That is essentially, Sauer's answer was, there's no recourse if a president orders a political assassination. And Laura, you know part of the reason that they are not going to allow this? Because if Trump gets back in office and he doesn't like what they do, he'll send SEAL Team 6 for the United States Supreme Court.
Oh, God.
This is a recipe for dictatorship. But the substance is not the issue. It's the timing, it's the delay, and it's the question, are our democratic institutions in the United States of America in 2024 up to this challenge of autocracy that is represented not just by this position, but Trump has, I wrote a piece this week, hundreds of statements that he wants to bring autocracy to America. He says it almost every day.
Tiffany, let me hear it from you because...
Yeah, so Trump apparently wants to bring autocracy to America, and he's going to use his powers to go after his political opponents. That's what they are saying here. So I think it's important to look at what's going on right now. Oh, you mean the Biden administration, the DOJ going after President Trump for every single tiny thing that they can go after him with? You mean this case with Judge Engoron, Letitia James, E. Jean Carroll, Fani Willis, all of these corrupt cases that are brought against Donald Trump? Is that what you're talking about when you say autocracy? I think that speaks a lot more to President Biden than it does to Donald Trump. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the mainstream media freaking out about the fact that the Supreme Court is going to hear his argument about presidential immunity? What do you think about that? And what do you think about these conspiracy theories that they are talking about on CNN and MSNBC, and Rachel Maddow going down that deep rabbit hole, freaking out and working their viewers into a frenzy about the big bad orange man? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until then, I will see you on the next one.